Okay, so I think we're entering into probably the most difficult part, or if you didn't think that present value was difficult, then this one might be just as difficult or less difficult. But so pretend this is a T account. This forward contract is a T account, since it's hard to draw a T account when you're on Word. But our forward contract, we recorded the fair value of it, and this change between 0.93 to 0.99 was about $12,000, and if it was fair valued, it would have been 11,764. This present value factor will mess up our total calculation, since it's not, a nice 12,000. But if you were kind of to disregard 1231 year one, just disregard that for a little bit. Now we're going to look at 228 year two. Everything has come to an end. The forward contract rate is finalized, and now we know really how much our forward contract is either costing us or saving us. And so I started out at 0.93. Let's hide that 0.99. 0.93, and then when everything was said and done, 0.98 is what the forward contract or even the spot rate was, 0.98. So from when I entered into my forward contract to when I ended my forward contract, that's what I know my forward contract's going to be worth, right? That's going to be my ending balance. So I'm just looking for my ending balance here so that everything works out nicely. They're nice round even numbers, and so that I can plug either a debit or a credit to make sure my ending balance is correct for my forward contract. We're going to ignore that 0.99 for now. Let's look at the 0.93 versus the 0.98. So if I were to look at the difference between those two, let's do 0.98 minus 0.93. So my forward contract cost me about 0.05, 5 cents, times it by my foreign currency units. If I would have left it on Hedge, I could have gotten that 0.98, but I was scared. I was worried. I was trying to minimize my losses, so I entered into that 0.93. So times it by my 200,000. Entering into a forward contract cost me $10,000. It was a liability to me, $10,000. A liability, so this is my ending balance. Everything said and done, the rate for the forward contract was 0.98, and I stuck with 0.93. So my forward contract should have an ending balance of 10,000. It's cost me $10,000 to have this contract here, because I could have gotten a lot more if I would have not hedged it, or went into the bank at 228 year two and asked for a forward contract on that exact date, which is exactly the spot rate. And you could see this again too. Let's prove it out. So I settled for this 186,000. I was okay with that entering into the forward contract. Somebody else goes in at settlement date and has the same contract, 228 year two, and uses that forward contract rate of settling today, or the spot rate, 0.98, and they get 0.98 times it by 200,000, 196,000 US dollars, 196,000 US dollars. So if I would have not hedged it, if I would have not used the forward rate of that day, if I would have gone in at this date, at this rate for the forward contract, which was essentially today, the forward rate of that day is the spot rate, I would have gotten $196,000, but I locked in, so I have about a $10,000. It is exactly $10,000. That's what my forward contract is costing me. That's where that $10,000 comes from. So my ending balance is a credit of $10,000. I already have a credit of $11,764. How can I make the wrong number become the right number? I have too much credit, so I need a debit, right? So I could take the credit and minus the ending number to get the debit. 11,764 minus 10,000. 1,764. I would need a debit of 1,764. And we can move that over on my T account. Right? So this is your T right here. I have a credit here. I'm going to debit the forward contract 1,764 so that I ensure when I go take my forward contract to the bank that I have accounted for that 10,000 forward contract liability that I entered into. So now I'm going to debit the forward contract and credit. What's my credit? AOCI. What is a journal entry to update the fair value of the forward contract? I updated it. I need to plug this to update it to ensure my forward contract is up to date. So debit the forward contract 1,764. Credit AOCI 1,764. Yeah, that's your entry. So then look, ultimately, what is the net amount of US dollars AC will receive because of this sale? I already knew how much I entered into. I already knew that I had settled for $186,000. Because I locked in at that 0.93 rate, I'm going to collect $186,000. So I can already know $186,000 cash. That's how much cash they're going to collect. But to see the journal entries more fully, I will explain that. So we have to look at our accounts receivable balance, and we accounted for the gain or loss, the 2,000 gain or loss at year end, but if you were to do the math out, there would be a loss of 6,000, loss on foreign exchange of 6,000 at the end, at the settlement date 228x2. So you would have to take that into account. But I could calculate my accounts receivable, right? I could just do that right out. So ending up, my accounts receivable was 0.98. This is kind of an abbreviated version. Hopefully this makes sense for you. But 0.98 times it by 200,000. That's how much foreign currency. They receive the 200,000 foreign currency, and that's what it translates to in US dollars. So they get cash of $196,000. Their receivable goes down and they get cash. You're really getting 200,000 foreign currency units, and that is worth 196,000 US dollars. So you've had this receivable, you get cash, which is 200,000 foreign currency units, but I'm going to denominate it in US dollars. So let's say this is foreign currency units. 200,000 of them worth $196,000 US dollars, and my receivable goes down. My receivable goes down. Okay, I don't want this foreign currency. I don't want 200,000 foreign currency units. I want US dollars. So I go take this to the bank. And I give up my cash, FCU, 200,000 of it, and I get, which is worth $196,000. I turn in my obligation, my forward contract, and it's previously has had a credit. I'm going to zero out this account. It's had a credit of $10,000. Now my forward contract, which cost me $10,000, was like a liability, will be there to zero out my account. That's what it's going to cost me, and I'm going to get cash. I'm not going to get the full $196,000 in US dollars. I'm going to get $160,000 because I had entered into this rate, and this forward contract cost me this amount of money, so I didn't get it in cash. And so that's your journal entry. You do get the cash of $186,000. and that forward contract is 10,000. And so your debits and your credits equal there. Your final entry. And I will post the other format, that 4-entry format Excel sheet that you can double check your work. If you were to do all the entries out, you could make sure your AOCI was zeroed out, but the exam didn't ask you for all the entries, and maybe everything is not super organized this way, but knowing what you're doing and knowing what's being asked of you is very helpful that way. And so yes, they did receive cash US dollars, not foreign currency units, US dollars of this amount using this entry, this final entry. Cash in foreign currency, go take this foreign currency cash to the bank, and your forward contract cost you 10,000, and you got cash in the end of 186,000. I hope this helps. We can go over in class as well. Also review Brother Kimball's videos to help you out with what I'm trying to say in an abbreviated version on Word, just like what you are going to do on your exam. Thanks for watching. Bye.